Bonjour, Émilie Talpin, OM System Ambassador in the US. Welcome back to the channel. Do you know that you can completely reprogram most of the buttons on your OM System cameras? Well, I'm going to show you how to do this right now. So let's get started. If I were to give you my camera, the OM1 Mark II right now, and tell you go and shoot, you would be so utterly confused. Why? Because I reprogram a lot of those buttons. Like if you are trying to change the exposure compensation, you're gonna get a big surprise because maybe you're gonna switch to focus stacking. Or if you press on the AEL button, you might do some bracketing. Or if you press right here, you might all of a sudden find yourself in night vision. I reprogram a lot of those buttons to make this camera my own. There are some functions that I use all the time and that I want accessible at a press of a button. And that's what I love about OM System is that they let you just make basically your own camera. Things that make sense. You just have to remember where you put those buttons and you'll be fine. Because yeah, I've seen people reprogramming their camera and then forgetting and not understanding why all of a sudden something doesn't work or why everything looks like it's properly exposed at the back of their screen, but when they take a photo, it goes black. So I'm going to show you how to reprogram your camera. You're going to switch on your camera. You are going to press on the OK button. And when I press on the OK button, I'm being redirected to the Super Control panel. This is my favorite button because you have access to a lot of things. So I'm going to go to the cog right now. I'm going to click on OK. And this is exactly where you can find all the buttons on your camera and you can reprogram them. So let's say that the exposure compensation is something that you don't use. I don't use it because I use the highlight alert and I'm manually setting my ISO, my aperture, and my shutter speed. So I never use that exposure compensation button. So here are all the different functions that you can reprogram the exposure compensation for. I mean, that's a lot of function. You could programming for out bracketing if you decide that's what you like to do. You can programming for focus bracketing. You can reprogram it to have your AF on button because maybe you don't want your AF on button to be here. It would be a bit strange because I think it's the right location because your thumb is right here. But it's an option. You can program it for subject detection, for subject selection, for magnifying glass. You can program it because you have a custom settings that you really like, so like a C1, and instead of having to turn the dial, you can just press on this button and that sends you directly to your C1 custom setting that maybe is bird. So you're doing landscape and all of a sudden you see a bird, click, press of a button, and here you are. So this function, I think, is something that people don't use enough. And I really, really want to encourage you to try it. If you are worried about not remembering how you program things, here, this is a prime location that is really not being used. So you can stick a little piece of paper here and then write all your custom settings here and what button are changed to what. So you remember. But also if you don't remember, press on OK, go to the cog, and then look through all the buttons and see what you change them for. It's so easy, and trust me, it will change your life because it's going to make you a more efficient photographer in the field. So that is my tip for today. I just want you to let me know if you reprogram your camera, your OM System camera, and you reprogram some of those buttons and what you find the most useful. I know that for me, night vision is very important because I do macro. I love the subject detection as well, to be able to turn it on and off. I also like subject selection, live ND. So there are a couple of buttons that I reprogram, and my C1, C2, C3, C4, actually the buttons are different. So this button will be different for my macro photography and for my landscape photography. because I use my camera all the time, so I remember what those buttons are. That button is going to be different for C1 or C3. But if you don't use C1, C2, C3, and you're only on M, then you don't have to worry. Those are just sets, but you can still go and change them in the cog as your photography is evolving, as your subjects are also different. So let me know what you think in the comments. Are you gonna try to customize some of those buttons, and how? I'd love to hear from you. I want to also thank you for all your support. If you're not a subscriber, well, click on the subscribe button, hit the like and hit the bell so you know when my videos are coming out. But spoiler alert, it's every Sunday. And I will see you next week. Until then, happy shooting. Au revoir.